Hey there everybody, Kyle Sasser here. Wanted to talk to you about one of the most talked about neighborhoods in the city of Dayton, and that's Linden Heights. I love Linden Heights, one of my favorite areas. Has a ton of charm and character. Currently still pretty affordable. You know, definitely not as inexpensive as it has been, 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, but there's still a lot of value to be had in that neighborhood. So Linden Heights is located east of downtown Dayton, out along the 35 corridor. It's actually south of 35 there a little bit. And, really dominated by Wayne Avenue, Linden Avenue, and Wyoming Avenue. There's a huge park on the west side along Steve Whalen. And one of the other main features of Linden Heights is St. Anthony's Church. So it's a big, beautiful church to the north of Wyoming. Pretty close to Highland Park, again on the west side over close to Steve Whalen. Now, I feel like there's essentially 3 different sections of Linden Heights. So you have the area around St. Anthony's, and houses here tend to be on more compact lots. The roads are significantly below the houses, so it's not unusual to have 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 steps up to the house from the roads. The roads themselves are extremely narrow. You usually have street parking on both sides, so sometimes you can really only get one car down the middle of them. So parking can be a little problematic, but it is helped by the fact that there are a lot of carriage homes or detached garages on the alleyways on the back side of the properties. There can also be parking pads back there. Now, that said, not every house in this section of Linden Heights has that. So you do need to pay attention to that. And even with that, if you have a very large truck, so let's say you have like a 2.5 ton or 3 ton dually, F-350 or something like that, it's going to be problematic trying to make that corner to park on the back side of the property. Houses tend to be on the older side. 1900s, 1910s, 1920s, not unusual. Wood frame. You don't see as many Tudors as, say, like Belmont or Patterson Park, but the homes still have lots of charms. Larger porches are pretty common, and inside you'll have a lot of the millwork, the wood, the fireplaces, and all that beautiful stuff. Now, the other thing to know with St. Anthony's is it is a very popular, it's a very popular church. And they do have large social events. They have fish fries and other social events. And a lot of the residents I talk to in the area get a little irritated because they have to walk 3, 4, 5 blocks. Like they have to park 3, 4, 5 blocks away and walk to their house because it's street parking. It's basically open to everybody. So whenever they have these large social events, their parking lot overflows and people start street parking to get close. So keep that in mind if you are looking close to St. Anthony's. The other thing to know about this area is up closer to Wyoming, so within like 2 or 3 blocks of Wyoming, the homes up there are typically in better condition than further down the hill getting closer to Linden. They kind of go down. Not that the homes down there are falling apart, but you do see a bit of a quality slide as you go downhill. The second area is going to be around Wayne, Purcell, and Smithville. So this is, I wouldn't call it a newer area. The homes definitely still have a lot of character, but the feel of the neighborhood is different. Lot sizes are quite a bit larger in width than the St. Anthony section. So the lots are wider. A lot of times you will have driveways going past the side of the house. Just the lot lines are able to accommodate that. And you don't have the big hill that you have in the Highlands Park, the Highlands Park area. So you have the road, you have a sidewalk, and then you have a house, So you still have detached garages, but not so much on the alley access. A lot of times the driveway goes to that from around the side of the house. You do have trees. There's a little bit more on like the lawn and landscaping front. And backyards are also a bit larger than the Highlands Park, St. Anthony's area. So prices in the St. Anthony's area are some of the highest in Linden Heights. And they typically run from about $140,000 to $200,000. So this section of Linden Heights, prices are a little less expensive than the first section of Linden Heights. They usually are in the $120,000 to $180,000 range. There's a lot of renovation going on in every area of Linden Heights, to be honest. But there is a lot of fix and flips going on in this area. It's a little more quiet, a little less subdued. Oh, the streets and avenues in this second section, considerably wider. You can easily get, so you still have cars, street parking on both sides, but the roads are wide enough you can still get 2 cars through the middle easily. Architecture-wise, homes in this area don't have quite the same level of interest as the first section of Linden Heights, but they still have a pretty good amount of charm, and you will still see, larger front porches and hardwood floors and all those wonderful, charming aspects of older homes. The third area of Linden Heights is apparently they're known as East Enders. And I got this word from someone who has lived in Linden Heights for 30 years. And this is the little, lemon slice of Linden Heights that is between Linden and 35. Now, homes in this area are some of the least expensive in all of Linden Heights. And the reason why is because they are extremely close to 35, so you do have a significant amount of road noise. And also being close to Linden Ave, the commercial businesses through there are not the best maintained businesses in the city of Dayton. So you kind of have 2 little knocks there against you. That said, condition of the homes in this area are actually pretty good, like they're not neglected by any stretch of the imagination, and they are definitely superior in condition and charm to East Dayton, which is just the other side of 35 there. So if you're interested in Linden Heights, but maybe looking for the lower priced options in Linden Heights, the East Ender section is one that can definitely fit the bill. Now, homes out there, they tend to be a little bit more like the St. Anthony homes, where you don't have a lot of width to the lot lines. A lot of times you will have alley access on the back with a carriage house or a detached garage. But inside the houses, you do see that sort of historic charm with the wood millwork, fireplaces, and all of that cool and interesting stuff. So that's the general information on Linden Heights. Very cool area. One of my favorite in Dayton. If you're watching this a few years from now, those prices are probably going to be very outdated pretty quickly. So I really, really, really like Linden Heights. One of my favorite neighborhoods in the city of Dayton. It's got a lot of charm and potential. Lots of renovations going on there currently. Like honestly, I think 5 years from now, it's it's going to be a night and day difference from where it's at now, which is already a pretty awesome place to be. But let's say that you're not quite finding what you want in Linden Heights. What are some other areas that you should look in to be interested in? So similar areas to Linden Heights that I would tell you to check out would be Belmont and Walnut Hills. If you're looking for about that same price point, Walnut Hills is a bit to the west of Linden Heights, but it has a lot of the same characteristics of Linden Heights. Belmont is a little further south, and I would say the prices are a little higher in Belmont. And there's quite a bit more variety in house styles in Belmont. Like you have some super tiny, houses in Belmont. Like I saw one for like 550 square feet. But you also have the 2,000 square foot larger houses. Belmont's a pretty big area, so there's a lot of variety. Walnut Hills is a little bit more compact, so it's a lot more similar to Linden Heights. If you're looking for something, let's say older or nicer and more renovated than Linden Heights, I would tell you to look at South Park or Oregon District or St. Anne's Hill, which has more of the 1800s type homes with renovations and general neighborhood improvements much further along than Linden Heights. So let me know what you think of Linden Heights. If you lived there in the past or live there now, if you know of any potential changes or anything interesting happening in the area, I would love to see some updates. If you would like help finding a house in Linden Heights, I'd be happy to help you out. There should be a contact form or a link in the description or on the page below this video. Once again, my name is Kyle Sasser. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.